want to talk about Jeff Sessions briefly. Last week, in his bizarre and pretty obviously dishonest testimony, Trump Attorney General Jeff Sessions said, in more ways than one, I didn't do anything wrong. He couldn't remember a lot of key things, but he didn't meet with Russian agents. He didn't meet with officials. He didn't meet with representatives. He didn't discuss anything. He didn't do anything. He's completely innocent of anything you might have at any point considered thinking that he might have maybe done. Unfortunately, a lobbyist whose job it is to lobby for Russian interests, and also a lobbyist who wrote Trump's big foreign policy speech during his campaign, said, hey, you know what? I attended 2 dinners that were hosted by Jeff Sessions during the election. This is the lobbyist Richard Burt, who told The Guardian, I did attend 2 dinners with groups of former Republican foreign policy officials and Senator Sessions. Recall this bit of testimony. Take a listen to this.
During the 2016 campaign season, do you have any contacts with any representative, including any American lobbyist or agent of any Russian company within or outside your capacity as a member of Congress or a member of the Armed Services Committee?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, very specific question, even asked by John McCain there about American lobbyists working for Russia. And Jeff Sessions said, I don't believe so. The fact that Burt is a lobbyist on behalf of Russia is pretty well known in Washington. It's a matter of public record. A better defense of the meeting would be, well, listen, this guy was writing Trump speeches, so it makes sense that a campaign surrogate like Sessions would meet with him, setting aside the fact that Burt, someone acting on behalf of the Russian government, is helping to shape Trump's foreign policy positions, which is concerning in and of itself. But the point is, once again, Sessions was not telling the truth. He had met with a lobbyist for Russia. McCain specifically asked, did you meet with any lobbyists for Russia? And Burt has a long history of this. None of this is surprising or secretive.
And that's why these lawyerly type answers help him out, because Sessions didn't say no. He said, I don't believe so.
Right.
And your belief is completely different from what the evidence on the ground is. You can believe whatever you want.
Now, the other connection with Burt is that Burt wrote major parts of Donald Trump's foreign policy speech. This speech was given at the Mayflower Hotel at this infamous meeting, now infamous event, attended by Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak, which is a part of a totally different Jeff Sessions controversy, where Sessions said something like, I possibly met with Kislyak. And defenders are pointing to the denials about the Kislyak meetings from last week's testimony, saying, well, hold on, listen, he said that a meeting is not the same as shaking someone's hand in a big room of people or whatever. Why on earth should we believe anything that Jeff Sessions said about the Kislyak meetings if he is either lying or can't remember his meetings with a known lobbyist for Russian interests?
Yeah, and I know next to nothing about Richard Burt, but I'm more willing to believe his story because we know that Jeff Sessions lies even when he's under oath. It's one of those things about a known versus an unknown known. I know that Sessions is going to lie even in that position.
It's like the Comey-Trump thing, right? Are we going to believe Comey, who took notes immediately, and although we could say he made political mistakes in his career, he is not a known liar? Or are we going to believe Trump, who at this point is scrambling to avoid potentially everything up to, an impeachment conviction? And this is where we get into the whole thing of I don't recall, not within my recollection, and where it becomes key. McCain asked Sessions, did you meet with this lobbyist? And as Pat pointed out, Sessions said, I don't believe so. Sessions definitely met with the lobbyist. Is he truly the most forgetful man in Washington? Is he lying? And can it be demonstrated in court? That is a very, very difficult thing to prove definitively that someone remembered. How do you prove someone remembered something? And it seems that he's using these non-definitive disavowals to maintain possible deniability about, oh, I just didn't remember it at the time.
I don't see how it could be done. I mean, you can jog someone's memory, but it's entirely possible to forget and then re-remember.
The Guardian asked Carter Page for comment about all this. And Carter Page said, quote, in the grand scheme of things, the severe civil rights abuses by Clinton, Obama, Comey regime carried out against myself and other supporters of the Trump campaign in their illegal attempts to influence the 2016 election will help clarify how irrelevant all these petty side questions are. Basically, Carter Page saying, look at Hillary and Obama instead. And the last major aspect of this, because, and this is not getting a lot of attention because of how crazy the Russia collusion stuff is getting, an American lobbyist for Russian interests helped craft Donald Trump's important foreign policy speech. We have lobbyist-sponsored foreign policy in the United States. Lobbyists working for non-friendly foreign powers are writing what the president, then presidential candidate, says about Russian relations. That should make everybody who cares about the Constitution, American sovereignty, that should make everybody very, very concerned. And that is not getting a lot of attention because there is, again, scandal after scandal after scandal. Hopefully it'll get more attention. We are on Reddit at davidpakman.com/REDDIT. Discuss this story or any others you like on our discussion forum. Today's program is made possible in part by Gamefly, which is sort of like Netflix for video games. They've got over 8,000 new and classic games for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, Wii, and a bunch of other platforms. And you can also stream games. You don't even need a gaming console or a computer because you can stream games through your Amazon Fire Stick or Roku box and then use your mobile phone as the controller. You can play as many games as you want for one monthly fee. And if you find some games you want to keep, you can buy them for a low used price, never with due dates or late fees. And our audience can get a 30-day free trial at gameflyoffer.com/TDPS. The games are shipped directly to you with return envelopes included, no contracts, and you can also stream the games. I think I mentioned that. You can also rent games through the mobile app. Get a free 30-day trial for David Pakman Show viewers and listeners and support our show at gameflyoffer.com/TDPS.